Hey, what's going on YouTube? Masex back with another video. Continuing the series, man, we're going to look at the protectors, the guardians. You can't sleep on the offensive line. On offense, without the O-line, you have nothing. Now, specifically, we're going to be looking at the tackles. That's the premium, that's the blue chip, particularly the left tackle. Now, some of these tackles we're going to be looking at may be a left, may play right, and then even some may actually move to the inside to the guard position. But as of right now, they're projected to be tackles, left or right tackles. And we're going to look at the top 5. If you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe. Not only will it help the channel grow, but I will deeply appreciate it on the road to 1K. Go ahead and do that right now. But without further ado, let's get to it. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna be honest, I ended up changing my mind. I'm gonna do 6 today. I'm gonna do 6 because 5 and 6, it was just too hard and I didn't want to leave either off the video. And we're gonna go ahead and start with number 6. And that's Cody Ma out of North Dakota State University, drafted round 2 with the 48th pick overall to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Cody Ma, 6'5", 302 pounds, was a converted tight end coming out of high school. So there's been plenty of picks kind of showing the transformation as an 18-year-old compared to now. He's definitely bulked up in size to play the tackle position. Now, Cody Ma is the true definition of an underdog. Out of high school, he was unranked, class of 2017. So yes, he is an older prospect, but he's the true definition of grinding your way to the top. Played a lot of right guard earlier on in his college career. By his junior year, that's when he started getting more playing time at the tackle position, particularly left tackle. But when you watch his film, he looks like a tight end. I mean, he's really good on pulls. He's nasty. Like, he's going to engage the block, and he's not going to finish until you're on the ground. He really excels in the screen game as well. Like I said, any particular scheme that allows him to get out in space and go headhunt for a defender, that's what he's really good at. The reason why he may be pushed inside the guard is because of the wingspan. Not the lankiest, longest guy as far as wingspan is concerned. 302, like I said, he was 220 pounds just 4 or 5 years ago coming out of high school. He is on the smaller side for a tackle. That may be an issue, and that's because you're going to have power and strength concerns when it comes to moving D linemen off the ball and whatnot. But he plays with a lot of tenacity and strength, and I really think that he's going to be an impact player and a fan favorite. I'm not sure if he's going to get his teeth fixed or not. It's been something he's debated for name, image, and likeness and marketing purposes. He could stay with the snaggletooth look, but especially in Tampa, they're going to love him for probably a decade to come. All right, and at number 5, we have Anton Harrison out of Oklahoma. Drafted round 1, 27th pick overall to the Jacksonville Jaguars. 6'4", 315 pounds. Harrison's a really good player. Solid all the way around. Good size, length, prototypical in that aspect. Good foot speed. I think he'll handle the speed rush very well out there on the edge on an island. Very agile, plays with pretty decent leverage as well. He's solid in the run game, but he's not great or elite in the run game. I'd say he's an above average run blocker. He excels more in the pass pro. So I do want to see a little bit more tenacity. He may need that at the NFL level. Blitzes and twists, I did see a little struggle there handling that type of scheme on the defensive side. But just all the way around, Anton Harrison is a really good left tackle, and I think he's going to solidify that spot for Jacksonville for at least 7 to 8 years. All right, and at number 4, we have Broderick Jones out of Georgia, 6'5", 311, round 1, pick 14th overall to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Man, it seems like every video for my top rankings, I have at least one Georgia player in it. Broderick Jones is one of the best athletes in the offensive line class. That's what people glamored about. He can get out in space, he can move, he's agile left, right. He can get upfield in the screen game, move second level. Huge upside, especially as a pass pro. Now, one of the downsides, he did struggle a little bit in the running game, or at least to me, wasn't as good as his pass protection. His technique is raw. He is raw overall, pretty young prospect. He's a 3-year guy out of college, so you gotta expect there's gonna be some learning curves that he'll need to adjust to at the next level, but he definitely is high upside. He's huge, and that's why he's a top 15 pick. All right, moving along to number 3, we have Peter Scaronski out of Northwestern. Drafted first round, 11th pick overall to the Tennessee Titans, 6'4", 313 pounds. Now, Peter Scaronski, highly touted out of high school, a 5-star prospect, Northwestern's highest recruit ever. He started every game since he was an 18-year-old true freshman, so he has the resume, the snaps, the experience, the accolades. He's a pass pro specialist. Pass protection specialist is what I mean by that. He may be the best pass protector in the entire offensive line room. Very athletic. You see on film he can get second level. That's not an issue for him. He has exceptional technique. He's definitely a basics 101 type of guy. He's somebody that you use when you're making a offensive line tutorial, essentially, because he's really flawless in that. The reason why he's number 3 on my board, and then also even in the draft, he was the 3rd offensive lineman, is because of the ceiling. He may not have the highest ceiling of the other guys, but he's still exceptionally well. There was some wingspan issues, I guess we'll call it. Didn't have the longest wingspan. That's been known, honestly. It wasn't a surprise at the combine. So with the wingspan, and then also there was some strength concerns with him. Dropped his stock a little bit. Nonetheless, he's going to come in for the Tennessee Titans, and he's going to start day 1. That's my projection. And whether he does move inside the guard or he stays at left tackle, he's going to solidify that spot probably 10 years or so. I don't see him ever coming off the field. He's not going to struggle too much, I don't think. I do think that he's going to have some Pro Bowls and some All-Pro. He just may not ever be considered the most elite number 1 tackle in the game. But Peter Scaronski's the real deal, and I expect really big things for him. We're now in our top 2, and at number 2 we have my favorite offensive lineman in the class, and that's Darnell Wright out of Tennessee. 6'5", 333 pounds, was drafted first round, 10th overall. 6'5", I didn't know he was that tall. Nonetheless, he didn't allow a single sack in 2022. Really elite. That's really elite. And he plays in the SEC, which we consider having some of the best defensive linemen in the entire Division I. So wide base, really thick build, a lot of experience in college, over 2,000 snaps, size, athleticism. He's one of the bigger offensive linemen, so to see him move the way he does, get second level the way he does, it's really a freak of nature if you really think about it. Foot speed may be a little bit of a concern. He may struggle a little bit with the elite quick edge rushers off the edge. Nonetheless, his kick slide is so good. It's so smooth. Held his own against Will Anderson Jr., which if you saw this video, as well if you watch college football, you'll see Will Anderson Jr. is the best defensive prospect in the entire class, and he held his own pretty well one-on-one on an island with them. So Darnell Wright, I think, is the real deal. I don't know if he'll be a left tackle. He may project more to be a right tackle, but he may be the best right tackle after his first season in the NFL. That's how good I think this man is. And at number 1, we have Paris Johnson Jr., drafted with the 6th overall pick in round 1 to the Arizona Cardinals, 6'6", 313 pounds. He's the number 1 guy and was the number 1 guy drafted in the class. He has a huge reach. I believe it's over 85 inches. So that wingspan is crazy. Great size. I mean, he's 6'6". He can move. Really good experience. Has played all over the offensive line at Ohio State. Really smart on and off the field. He was an excellent student in the classroom. He plays very cerebral on the field. Great in pass protection and run blocking. Like, he's really good and elite in both, at least in my opinion. He moves lateral very well. He can get second level very well. He doesn't have an issue with that. He's a finisher. He latches those hands on you. They're not coming off. He can use his wingspan a little bit more, and some of that's coaching. Not to say he didn't have good coaches at Ohio State. Sometimes he did allow defenders to get up in him and kind of mitigate that wingspan advantage that he's always going to have. Ducks his head a little bit too much, particularly in the run game. I do want him to keep his head up a little more. That's going to help him with his leverage and his drive just some technique errors. I'm not an offensive line guru, but just all in all, Paris Johnson Jr. is going to start right out the gate. He's going to be one of the best offensive linemen in this class. And probably in about 3 years or so, he's going to be considered one of the best offensive linemen in the entire NFL. All right, and these are my top 6 offensive tackles in the 23 class. This is a deep class overall. That's why you saw as many offensive linemen, particularly tackles, drafted in the top 50, because there's a lot of talent. And I expect a lot of these guys actually to be starters right out the gate and hold down the position for the next 10 years plus. Now, if you made it this far in the video, like I always say, I deeply appreciate it. I thank you for the support. If you haven't already and you like this video especially, go ahead and like this video. Go ahead and subscribe to this video. That way you're engaged and notified when further content goes. Hit that ring bell or whatever it's called. I know that helps as well, so you can know when I post. We got a little bit more in this series, and then we're going to be moving on to bigger and better things, all things football nonetheless. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. I'm going to get up out of here. Hope you guys have a good one, and I'm out of here.